Welcome everybody, I'm Darth Goku, and we're going to move on to our next attack, and hopefully won't have to restart this video. One thing you can try and do to maximise the damage that you can do is to try and link Phase 1 and Phase 2 together. This is probably the best team for it. You can use a Jedi trained raid squad for it if you have excess, but normally, well, when you're first starting out like this, you're kind of running out of Jedi trained raid squads to get you through Phase 1. So if that happens, it's time to move on to your revan squads. And I see a lot of people skip the CLS and all that sort of thing and went straight into trying to get themselves a revan squad. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do an entire 20% here, but we'll see what happens. Like the Jedi trained raid squad, the revan squad also does a pretty good job of not letting Nihilus gain back his protection. And this is because you don't get debuffed as much as most other squads do. When you do a basic attack on Nihilus, he inflicts you with a defense down, and when you attack Nihilus with a defense down buff, you also give him protection. Every time I get a chance, I call in Yoda to assist, because he does the most damage out of all the people I have here. He is an R7 Yoda, but as I explained in the last video, gear levels, mods, and all that sort of stuff really only affects the amount of damage you can do. It doesn't stop you from being able to do the tactic, and it doesn't stop you from being able to contribute for your guild. And remember that raids are a guild event, so every single person in the guild really needs to put in as much as they can, especially when you're struggling to get through them, like when we first were, and like Horizons is now. They are so close it's not funny, and I do believe with a bit of practice they can do it without even having to increase any of their gear levels. Got to keep an eye on this Annihilate on Nihilus. Most certainly do not want him to annihilate somebody. As you can see, I keep swapping it, swapping turn meters with Grandmaster Yoda. Hermit Yoda. And that is so that I can give as many people his Grandmaster's training? Master's training. Just Master's training. He's not even a Grandmaster anymore. He's too old. We're doing pretty well. I'm still not 100% sure if we're going to make it all the way. So what you can do in this situation, just in case he does go into enrage or he does annihilate somebody by accident. Actually, if he annihilates somebody, it doesn't matter, you can always retreat. But what you can do, flick it up like this and turn everything onto aeroplane mode. Hopefully that doesn't stop my recording. I don't think it does. I've done it before actually. And we want to try and get him one of these unbreakable wheels. I was a bit late on the pause there. The reason we chose revan then to actually we'll swap turn meter. The reason I chose Revan to tank that Annihilate was because he's really easy to heal back up. Now, we might go with that one instead. We are going to go so close to being able to do this, it's not funny. We do not want to end this round with one person dead. We want to go into phase 2 with all 5 of them still alive. One good thing about starting in phase 1 is when you start in phase 2, every single person's already going to have master's training on them, which gives them that bit extra damage, and when Hermit Yoda calls them all to assist, it calls everybody. I'll swap with Yoda there because we want to try and have as many turns with Yoda and Revan as possible, as they're my biggest damage dealers. If I continuously let Jolie or Bastilishan attack, well, you're not going to get as many attacks in because, like I explained in the last video, every time you attack Nihilus, his speed increases until he takes a turn, which is basically the only way the AI can continuously let Nihilus take turns, because if you were able to, as in the tank raid and the pit raid, you're actually able to stop the Rancor or the rocket trooper and stuff from actually taking a turn. So they realise their mistake in that, and they're not allowing us to remove too much turn meter. I will stop him from taking turns. You can remove as much turn meter as you like. Sorry if I'm a little bit off with the fairies at the moment, guys. I am very, very tired. I really only stayed awake so I could get this done. And we've only got 2 turns left on Nihilus. He's got 1 turn until Annihilate. And as I was explaining before, we want to try and get as many turns in with Yoda as possible. In this instance, if I do fail in round 1, like I just did, I'm actually going to restart. But what we need to do first is turn it off aeroplane mode. Aeroplane mode is handy to have in case you muck up and everybody dies. If that's the case, hurry up. Here we go, back on. Lagging. I think it might have to do with something to do with my memory on the phone. I just continuously save everything. Yeah, did you see that? The oil has dropped 28%. I guarantee you, I still pay the same amount for the petrol. Come on. And it's going to let us now. Once again, we had all that other crap open. Well, you want to hope you do, Collie. You're over there murking for them. Oh, look out, Zeus. What a good score, mate. What a good score. Devros, you should be worried. You should be worried. You have 5 mercs over there, I think. You have Ninja as well, who runs the guild. You have Daniel, and you have Tiff. I'm not too sure if there's anybody else in there that has much. Deal with it, guys. Deal with it. I thought you were professionals. Okay, so we are 100% going to make it through this one without having to really muck around too much. I could auto it, but I really just want to make sure that I spread around the Hermit buff, the Master's Training buff from Hermit Yoda. It's a very rare occasion that I actually restart a battle. I think I bit off a little bit more than I can chew, mainly because I just kind of want to go to bed. But we are 100% going to make it through this 7% into the next round. Once again, we'll continuously give Hermit Yoda some turns just to try and spread out that Master's Training buff. Give everyone, I think it's... I'll click over here and I'll find out. There we go. 25% doubled on Jero, accuracy, defense, offense, potency, and tenacity. Which is why we're not getting that defense down debuff put on us once everybody's got the Master's Training. Everybody has a pretty high amount of tenacity as it is through, I'm pretty sure it's through Revan's leadership. Give Hermit Yoda another turn. Just got to always watch out for the Annihilate. It sneaks up on you, as you've seen in the last video. I was not even paying attention. And seeming this is probably my best squad. It's about the only squad that I'll restart with. Everybody else is like, I'll go in with another squad. Here I am acting all cool, but when we were in the same position as Horizons were, we were, all of us, every single person in the guild that was trying, was resetting if they mucked up, because we needed to squeeze every last little bit of damage out of it. We even failed Heroic Sith Raid, was it twice? Before we started getting it right. We also used mercs for a little while there. We quickly realised that, one, they take the top spots and they take your best rewards for the tickets that you've earned. And two, it's not really that satisfactory when you have to get somebody in to help you get through something. So it's a very good milestone to get over for your guild. Once you get through your heroic Sith raids, you're going to move on to things like Geonosian territory battles, and put a real solid focus into your territory wars and such. Okay. Now, this is where the run gets not tricky, but well, it is a little bit tricky actually, because when you're versing somebody who has more than 50% health with Yoda, instead of getting offense up from a basic attack, you get turn meter. Gaining turn meter is all good when said and done, but having offense up is always good as well. There's a couple of little ways around it. One, as you've seen, Scion just gave himself a offense up buff, so we can try and steal that with Yoda, which will happen on his next turn. Unless we did this move. If we do that move, he's going to lose his offense up buff. So we're just going to do a basic attack there, and continue on. There is another way, and I could have done it then, but I'll show you later on how to also get an offense up buff onto Yoda. Once you get the offense up buff on him, you want to then spread it around to everybody else on the team. And every single chance you get, the person you call into battle, call in to assist, is always Yoda. Doesn't matter your gear levels. If your revan has a higher gear level than Yoda, still, Yoda's probably still going to, depending on the gear levels of course, is still going to have a higher attack. If anybody has noticed the attack that we have on Yoda, his basic attack is doing, oh god, it was really hard to see there, but here's his special move. What does that do? 270,000. So that's actually more than what Finn was doing after he gained his 500% bonus, and that was a basic attack at 250,000. So like I said, every chance you get, you're calling in Yoda to assist, and eventually he's going to lose, and it'll be this turn here. Oh no, he doesn't, sorry, my bad. Oh, that's because I used Stiller. Eventually he loses all his offense up and all his other buffs. So you got to try and balance it out so that he has it as more often than he doesn't have it. So we'll spread this around, and I think we'll call in Master Yoda, Hermit Yoda, to try and get him to have as many. Now here with these moves, you can use this one, but what this actually does is takes away one turn that you've got offense up buff on Yoda for. So we don't really want to use that move. We could use a basic attack, but or we could use this special move. But if you use this, what is it called anyway? Strategic advantage. If you use a strategic advantage, well, you basically get a strategic advantage. Calling in Revan, the second highest damager on the team, as well as Yoda. So combined damage there was actually a lot more than what Yoda's special move would have been. If anybody has noticed, we've already done 9.5%. Now we can use Yoda's special move. If you use this move, you're wasting a turn with your offense up buff. If you use this move, it's not quite as much damage as that one. So once again, it was another 270, and he's back down to not having any buffs. The way we're going to get around this is, or you have to wait a little while until he either gains his offense up buff. Now we can use this move. Why can we use this move? Because we don't have offense up. So we're just going to take an extra turn. And then when we take an extra turn, we call in Revan. The pattern in which I'm doing it could probably be perfected a little bit better. I don't necessarily have a specific pattern. I just go with what's going, what looks good at that very moment. Okay, now we can also use this move because he doesn't have any buffs that we want to steal off him. And I keep swapping over and giving the turn to Hermit Yoda, but there was a different reason for it this time. It wasn't just for the mass assist. It was because his turn meter was actually very, very high, which gave Revan an extra turn. I'll show you what I mean if it happens again. Now we actually have the offense up buff from Bastillashan. Now if we do this move, we could quite possibly kill the side units, and we actually don't want to do that just yet. And that's the same with Revan. If he uses his AoE attack, there's a pretty high chance, especially when he's got all these buffs on him, that he's going to kill all three of those side units. And that we do not want. There's a reason for it, and as soon as Master Yoda runs out of this offense up buff, I can show you why. And there it is there. He's got no offense up buff. Everybody else does, but not him. How do we get him the offense up buff, do you ask? Quite simply like this. We take a side unit using Revan as an assist on Yoda. Oh, that didn't work. How was I doing it before? Maybe I did do that. There we go. Now we got offense up. Yeah. I'm tired, okay? Leave me alone. What happened to all this squawking bloody squawkings that were going on there, guys? He's in there trying to actually beat the raid. That's what's going on. They're over there doing a Merc run for Skywalking B. It's the first time we've been over there to do a heroic run, so they're a little bit having performance anxieties from what I hear. It's okay, guys, if you can't get it up, can't get it done, right, well, I won't tell anyone, okay? Now, there's a little issue here. That was how we did it with Revan before. Is because he's got the death mark on him. It's death mark, I think it's called. Come on, tell me. It's just marked, okay. Because he's got that buff on, debuff on him, nobody else can attack anybody else except for Revan, which is when calling Yoda to assist on the side unit will give him the offense up buff. I'll show you what I mean on Revan's very next turn. So what we're going to do is and now he's stealthed. Make a fool of me, game, make a fool of me. At least our damage is looking good and making us look good. Alright, now if this is what I meant before. See the turn meter that we have on Yoda, it's not very much. If I was to swap turn meter with him, it's going to be a while before Revan gets another go. But if I was to swap turn meter here with Bastillashan, Revan's going to get to take another go really quickly. So we've got 5 turns left until Enrage. Spread out these buffs. And this is what I was saying about group effort. Now we're going to do probably over 25% of this phase, and if 4 people have a Revan squad and can do roughly this, you're going to get through phase 2 without going through too many squads. That's what it's all about. Using the right squads in the right phase to use the least amount of turns, because once you get to phase 4 it becomes a little bit more hectic. As you can see, Yoda's damage is actually still pretty high even without offense up buff on him. which is why we're still calling him to assist with everybody else. And when you call him to assist, when his enemy is over 50% health, he gains, I don't know how much, but he gains turn meter, and a lot of it. Okay, so we're nearly hitting the 30% mark here. He's got 3 turns left. Now, you see this soothe? You can remove all the stacks of cycles of pain and cycles of suffering, right? But if you do that, you don't do as much damage. Sometimes with some squads and some gear levels, you're going to need to have to do it. But if you can get away with it, don't. Quite simply, just do not remove it and keep going. We'll give this one to Revan, so that when he gets a chance, he can call in Yoda to assist and get an offense up buff. If we use this, we're going to kill everybody, so we just need to wait for another turn. You would not believe how tired I am right now. I work night shifts, so this is actually the equivalent of me being up till about 4 AM in the morning. Okay, so now this is how you gain offense up. Finally got it to work. Hope I don't look like a complete idiot throughout this whole video. Because guess what? The video is done in one take, there's no editing. My mistakes are there for your pleasure. Okay, we've done over 30%. Let's see how long we can drag this out for. Yes, I know everybody's going to say this new thing, well, it's not new, but it's a new thing that everybody's been going on about, is squad placement. If I had placed Revan first in the squad order and then Jolie second, if everybody dies at the same time, Jolie will be the one who gets revived, which is always good because when Jolie's revived, he has a chance to revive everybody else. In other words, lasting even longer throughout Enrage. And bang. Everybody starts to die. And if we're lucky, we can have Hermit Yoda survive just like C-3PO. Well, just like C-3PO can. We all seen the last video. C-3PO did not make it. But Hermit Yoda did. And that's how you get one of them to escape. That's great, because we now get to use Hermit Yoda again. Thank you, everybody. I'm Darth Goku. Hope that helps.